Nations Incorporated. Good afternoon and welcome to King's Newsroom. 45-minute news about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. Today is Tuesday, April 8, 2025, and I'm Sherman Dioh presenting. In the headlines, Upper Nima County electoral supervisor resigns 14 days ahead of the county tightly contested senatorial by-election. Daniel Sien says his decision is based on his safety and peace of the county. U.S. Ambassador to Liberia warns Liberians against illegal entry and visa fraud. Ambassador Mark Turner says U.S. government is taking aggressive steps to curtail illegal immigration to the U.S. European Union donates specialized computers to Liberia National Police to enhance effective data collection and boost information sharing. As EU delegation to Liberia head calls for close working relation between the media and the security sector. Away from home, at least 20 people have died from flash flooding and tornado damage that swept across multiple states in the Midwestern and southern parts of the U.S. over the weekend. Torrential rains and floods have killed at least 33 people in Kinshasa, the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo, according to officials. This plus the news bulletin voices of the newsmakers at our package, but we'll take a short break to be right back. Welcome back at this juncture. We join Nathan Talkback with the news bulletin.
The National Elections Commission Upper Nima County Electoral Supervisor Daniel Sien has resigned from his post. In his letter of resignation addressed to the NEC Upper Nima County Magistrate Monday, Sien noted that his decision is aimed at ensuring his safety and the peace of the county, and also vowed to turn over NEC documents and properties to the commander in charge of the Upper Nima Electoral Office. Following the resignation of Daniel Sien, several persons, including political pundits, have raised concerns about what actually prompted the resignation. U.S. Ambassador to Liberia, Mark Turner, has issued strong warning against Liberians who, considering illegal entry into the United States or involvement in visa fraud. Ambassador Turner, in a public update released on Monday, pointed out severe consequences of violating U.S. immigration laws and urged Liberians to discourage friends and relatives' efforts residing illegally in America from remaining there. It further revealed that nearly 20% of Liberians who travel to the U.S. on tourist visas fail to return home upon expiration. Ambassador Turner added that Liberia now ranks as the country with the or at the 10 highest visa overstayed rate globally, noting that too many Liberians are restoring to deception in desperate efforts to secure U.S. visas. The Donald Trump administration has since announced a sweeping immigration crackdown on individuals who I believe to be residing in the U.S. illegally. Tunot also noted that the U.S. government is taking aggressive steps to curtail illegal immigration, with heightened enforcement, arrests, and deportations becoming more frequent. The European Union has donated specialized computers for data collection and registration center to the Liberian National Police. The specialized computers will be used by Liberia's law enforcement agencies to digitalize and share information. Head of European Union dedication to Liberia, Ambassador Nona De Press, said the specialized equipment in the EU way of is the EU way of assisting Liberia security personnel to enable them provide regular information. She stressed that the program will have a proper linkage to only security agencies, but will put in place close working relation of the media with security agencies in assisting with relevant information. The donation of the Dakori took place Monday at the headquarters of the Liberian National Police, and it was done within the context of the regional security program in an effort to boost information sharing. The EU dedication to Liberia here also that showed that European Union will try as much as possible to extend its donation of equipment to the Liberia's borders. Also speaking, Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman says the donation of the specialized equipment will enhance the effort of combating national and transnational crimes. According to him, there will be a special office set which will be called the Data Collection Center, which will be responsible for training. Former Vice President Joe Howard Taylor has criticized the Boakai Kun administration for its increasing hardship on ordinary citizens across the country. Speaking on Spoon FM Sunday, former VP Taylor attributed what she called sharp increase in hardship to a high rate of unemployment being experienced by Liberians under the UP government. According to her, more people are unemployed now than during the previous administration headed by former President George Weah. The former vice president comments come at the time, a growing public concern over the rising cost of living and limited unemployment opportunities for Liberians. She further highlighted that the government action is downside ordinary citizens from various ministries and agencies has created more hardship on the people. Taylor, who served as vice president under former President George, we are urged the current leadership to urgently address the economic challenges facing everyday Liberians. A new management has taken over the Liberia Electricity Corporation with the mandate to take the corporation from its current trouble stage. Speaking during the taking over ceremony, the newly appointed acting managing director Mohammed Sharif said President Joseph Walker has observed that LEC is facing financially and economically challenge. Sharif called on the LEC board and the general public to work with the new management team in order for the corporation to live up to its mandate. Performing the induction of the new management team, the chairman of the board of directors of the LEC, Councillor Emmanuel Tule, challenged the new management to double its efforts, noting that the public do not want any more excuses. Councillor Tule asserted that Liberians are demanding the best of energy so as to help restore the image of the corporation. Others inducted with Mr. Sharif were Eric Augustine Frederick, Acting Deputy Managing Director for Administration, and Thomas Concoyon, Acting Deputy Manager, Managing Director for Operations. The High Command of the Armed Forces of Liberia says its special unit sent on Operation True Guardian has ended its mission in Grand Cape Pound County and has since crossed to Bomi County. Operation True Guardian is a strategic plan for a nationwide quarterly patrol developed by the AFL, and the planned nationwide quarterly patrol comes as Liberia faces significant security challenges marked by increased transnational and maritime crisis, illicit drug trade, and smuggling despite advances towards peace and stability. On 27 March 2025, a team of AFL personnel from Operation True Guardian visited the St. Timothy Government Hospital in Roberts Post, Grand Cape County, to establish contact with the hospital staff and make arrangements for referral cases that AFL medical team would not handle in the operation area. The purpose of the patrol was to dominate and be robust in those areas in order to deter threats and provide security as well as build confidence among the locals. During the patrol, the team came across a single barrel gun carrier, and the authority from the National Commission on Arms was contacted. They took possession of the gun. Also on 27 March 2025, the Liberia Coast Guard, in a joint support to the Operation True Guardian, conducted a patrol in seawater across Lake Piso. On 28 March 2025, the EFL team patrolled Gawuluwa district, which comprises immediate farmers in Sinje, Fumba, and Bamboo in Grand Cape County. The purpose of the patrol was to dominate and be robust in those areas in order to deter threats and provide security as well as build confidence among the locals. The case between Liberia's second runner-up Miss Kindness Wilson and victim Jamel Kassir is expected to resume on Tuesday, April 8, 2025, at the Monrovia City Court. Tuesday's proceeding, according to our judicial correspondent, will witness defendant Kindness Wilson responding to criminal rape on charges ranging from simple assault and disorderly conduct. Queen Kindness Wilson was brought under the jurisdiction of the court through a rape charging her for simple assault and disorderly conduct for slapping Jamel Cassiot recently at Stella Maris University campus on Capitol Hill. George Baku has since lifted the near exit Republican that was placed on Kanye Wilson from leaving the country. The near exit is an equitable rate restraining a person from leaving the jurisdiction of the court or the state. The trial jurors of the Fifth Judicial Circuit Court in Grand Cape County are expected to convict or acquit about four defendants on allegation of murder. This follows prosecutors and defense lawyers' notice to the court that they have rested with the production of oral and documentary evidence. The lawyer's notice, according to our judicial correspondent, compels Judge Usman Feka to announce Tuesday, April 8, 2025, as date for final legal argument in the Fifth Judicial Circuit Court in Grand Cape County in connection to the murder case. Ahead of Tuesday's argument, prosecuting lawyers led by Grand Cape County Chief Prosecutor Councilor Nyako Nyakpao, they has built his case theory around circumstantial evidence. While Councillor Boyman passed away, Chief Defense Counsel of Graham Kipman is pushing the theory of debt. Our judicial correspondent said both legal teams are confident about their case theories and convinced of a verdict. The four defendants are John Odinika, a Nigerian, Mohammed Ali Ba, a Sierra Leonean, Man Slapon, and John Jessian, are Liberians. In 2024, the four defendants accused a gold mine worker Joshua Sumo of stealing their diamond with the deceased admitted to and after he was apprehended by the defendants. During his arrest, the defendants reportedly tied the deceased hands and later flogged him and threw him in the diamond pit, which led to his death. Majority Black Speaker Richard Cohn has indicated a need for continued advocacy for fire safety across the country. Speaking during the programs marking a donation of fire equipment to the Liberian National Fire Service by the International Training Group of Companies, Cohn said the need for more support to firefighters is crucial. Maserati District 11 lawmaker, who is a fire survivor, noted he had been instrumental in raising awareness about fire prevention and the need for improved firefighting resources. He described the donation as the power of international partnerships in building stronger emergency response systems and ensuring the safety of Liberia's citizens. For his part, the director of the Liberian National Fire Service, Wasua Bafo, expressed gratitude for the support, describing and adding that it will enhance the safety of firefighters and improve the overall fighting efforts and ensure that the equipment will be put to immediate use to help ensure the firefighters are better equipped to handle emergencies. The firefighting gear are estimated to be about 250,000 United States dollars. Also speaking head of the International Training Group of Companies, Patrick Mademot, committed to supporting the LNFS Academy with a smart board and other training tools. Supporters of Nima County District 5 Representative and Senatorial candidate Samuel Koga have reportedly attacked Madam Elif Gonklo Ware and her supporters. According to Madam Gonklo Ware supporters, they were physically attacked and assaulted by members of Koga's team while trying to engage residents of Workplay as part of ongoing campaign activities in the county on Sunday. They claimed that they were threatened by Samuel Koga's supporters, noting that Madam Elif Gonkle will not receive any votes in that part of the county during the pending April 22nd by-election. The Elif Gonkle camp further alleged that the threat was sanctioned by Vice President Jeremiah Cohn and Representative Koga to manipulate the electoral process to ensure Samuel Koga wins the election. And Bond County Senator Prince Moore, in collaboration with the county superintendent, I said to have formally appointed Dr. Morgana Flomo Jr. to lead the process of reconciliation across the county. Senator Moit said, as leaders of the county, they have envisaged that the process will foster genuine peace and reconciliation, promote engagements, and bridge political, social, and ethnic divides, and initiate processes that pave the way for collective and sustainable progress. The chairman of the Bond Legislative Caucus indicated that he and his colleagues are fully committed and remain supportive of the process. He, at the same time, calling on all citizens and residents of Bond County to see the reconciliation process as a step in the right direction, encouraging them to avail themselves to support and participate in the process as they work together to enhance unity, peace, reconciliation, and development. According to reports, Dr. Morgana Flomo has been having consultations that will lead to the recruitment of members of the county's Peace and Reconciliation Committee. He has, however, promised to touch every sector of the county in an effort to achieve a holistic reconciliation that will move the county forward. The decision was reached over the weekend in Banga, Bon County.
Nathan Tokbar with the news bulletin. The news bulletin is a regular feature on King's Newsroom. A reminder you listen to King's Newsroom 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. Stories are following this afternoon. Upper Nima County electoral supervisor resigns 14 days ahead of the county tightly contested senatorial by-election. Daniel Sient says his decision is based on his safety and peace of the county. He was ambassador to Liberia warns Liberians against illegal entry and visa fraud. Ambassador Mark Turner says U.S. government is taking aggressive steps to curtail illegal immigration to the U.S. European Union donates specialized computers to Liberia National Police to enhance effective data collection and boost information sharing. As EU delegation to Liberia head called for close working relation between the media and the security sector. Away from home, at least 20 people have died from flash flooding and tornado damage that swept across multiple states in the Midwestern and Southern parts of the U.S. over the weekend. Torrential rains and floods have killed at least 33 people in Kinshasa, the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo, according to officials. We take a break to be back with voices. Welcome back and thanks for being there. The European Union has donated specialized computers for data collection and registration center to the Liberia National Police. The specialized computers will be used by Liberia's law enforcement agencies to digitalize and share information. Head of European Union delegation to Liberia, Ambassador Nordan Press said the specialized equipment is the EU way of assisting Liberia security personnel to enable them provide regular information.
6 years, Interpol and the European Union work closely on matters of joint interest. For us, Interpol is a key partner in the field to extend security, terrorism, and organized crime. Um, Internationalization of crime is a reality that makes every continent and every country. So a united and collaborative policy commitment is the best solution to secure the international crime. So for the European Union, helping partners countries to strengthen system security is a way to support common interest. Um, on common interest, stability and the global governance. Um, in our support to the security institution of the diplomatic relationship between the security, good governance, and the conflict resolution. For the work is key and information and access to information data is important for our readers, for the institution with evidence. But there is also a need to work more with the data to be able to get critical analysis of
Also speaking, Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman says the donation of the specialized equipment will enhance the effort of combating national and transnational crimes. According to him, there will be a special office set up, which will be called the Data Collection Center.
We have the National Police to accept this generous donation that come from taxpayers or the European Union. It is one thing to protect yourself. There's a whole different thing beyond just your personal protection to look out for the protection of others outside of your area of responsibility. We do not take this gift lightly. We receive it with all gratitude and our commitment to use it for its intended purpose. We are at a place where things and times have changed and continue to change day by day, and we have been left behind. We are moving into an age where uh, the internet, the use of computer is replacing all of our old systems that we had forever. Uh, this data collection and registration center, which is a part of the WAPIS project, is the system based on the WAPIS project, is something that will go a long way in improving our ability to collect, analyze, and share information with our international counterparts. The criminal investigation network can only be as strong as its weakest links. And in that entire team, we happen to be one of those at the back of it. So this is a commitment to strengthening our ability to contribute not just towards U.S. safety, but towards global safety in fighting crime and investigating criminal initiation.
Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman. Former Vice President Joy Howard Taylor has criticized the Boubacar Khan administration for the increasing hardship on ordinary citizens across the country. Speaking on Spoon FM Sunday, former VP Taylor attributed what she calls sharp increase in hardship to a high rate of unemployment being experienced by Liberians under the UP government. According to her, more people are unemployed now than during the previous administration headed by former President George Weah.
That Colombia is the highest employer. And because they are the highest employers, anything that happens in the civil service, it is a ripple effect, throughout the country. I remember when we took power and we had our first cabinet meeting and we were talking about how do we bring people up. So our first statement was nobody gets laid off across the civil service. And the questions flew back and forth in cabinet. How do we bring our own people on board? He said they have to go look for additional income to bring people on board. He says no one is getting laid off. We're not laying off anybody. Except for the political appointments, those again that are political appointments, whether you're minister or you're assistant minister, those are political things that any government coming to power, will make some shifts. But the civil service as an organization across FOEs and government, no one was laid off. Everybody could be in place because he didn't want Liberians to suffer. He said, you're not laying anybody off. The United Party has done just the opposite, even though they promised in the campaign, if you're for will not lay anybody off. Massive layoffs everywhere. Massive layoffs. That is providing hardship for Liberians. The second thing is that he said in order to raise the level of salaries at the lower level, those who are at the highest level must divide the income in half. So everybody's income was cut in order for us to provide money to give small more money to the civil servants, small more money to the teachers, small more money to the people at the lower level. That was a thing that the cabinet didn't like. Everybody wanted to make their own money and do what they want to do. Now he said, no, we don't have a large economic space, so we must provide benefits for people, then this has to be done. He cut his salary in half, he cut everybody's salary in half. And then that money was now used, at the lower level to help lift people a little bit better. Today you have just the opposite happening. The salaries have gone up. People are riding all these, beautiful astronomical cars, costing so much money. You see, I don't want to call it, I have a lot of friends in government, but the fact is that, if you take $100,000 to buy a car and you're head of an agency, where the money for pension benefits for your people or for increasing their salaries. So you got to do one or the other. You can't do both. And I think when it came to the CDC government, we are more people-centric, worried about what's happening at the lower level. So we didn't want to increase hardship for the people. In this government, it's just the opposite. Sadly, now we have taken GST from 8% to 12%.
Former Vice President Dioh Taylor. A new management has officially taken over the Liberia Legislative Corporation with the mandate to take the corporation from its current trouble stage. Speaking during the takeover ceremony, the newly appointed acting managing director, Mohammed Sharif, said President Joseph Boakai has observed that the LEC has been facing financial and economic challenges.
The president do recognize that LEC is actually in a troubled state. Financially troubled, operationally inefficient, eroded customer confidence. So we have come into this position humble to work with you, the board, with your support, collaborative support. We are ready to turn things around. This is why when I was appointed as RTMD, I immediately started to work with the interim management team, because what is happening now, you have two buckets. The first bucket is immediate, the second bucket, medium to long term. The immediate, I consider the fire is on the house. Whenever you have the fire on the house, you first get concerned of the fire before you think about who lit the fire. So this is why when I was appointed as RTMD, I immediately started consultation regionally to optimize our domestic generation, working with the interim management team to increase the supply of electricity. As you can see, in the past week or so, a lot of improvement has taken place.
Performing the induction of the new management team, the chairman of the board of directors of the LEC, Councillor Emmanuel Tule, challenged the new management to double its efforts, noting that the public do not want any more excuses.
The appointments were made in consonance with this act, while this law vests the management the responsibility to deliver. The law correspondingly vests in me as chairman and my colleagues are members of the board of the corporation, powers of the corporation, and the authority to formulate policies and provide direction to the management of the corporation. Additionally, this law confers upon the chairman of the board of directors of the corporation the mandatory responsibility for the overall direction of the affairs of the corporation. By this, the law clearly distinguishes the authority and functions of both the board and management. The board of directors invested in the powers of the corporation and the authority to formulate policies and provide direction to the management, and the management implementing this formulated policy under the direction of the board. The task ahead. Notwithstanding the joy and pleasure these appointments bring to you and your families and friends, they come at a time that the corporation is faced with huge challenges. These challenges include, but are not limited to, insufficient power generation capacity, gap in the supply of safe, reliable, affordable, and stable electricity to to meet demands. High commercial losses, which currently stands at around 27%, and attributable to power theft and poor revenue collection, and lack of capitalization to invest in and increase generation capacity, diversify sources of generation, and expand distribution networks.
A reminder you're listening to King's Newsroom 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, in our one word. Stories following this afternoon. Upper Nima County electoral supervisor resigns 14 days ahead of the county tightly contested senatorial by-election. Daniel Sien says his decision is based on his safety and peace of the county. U.S. Ambassador to Liberia warns Liberians against illegal entry and visa fraud. Ambassador Mark Turner says U.S. government is taking aggressive steps to curtail illegal immigration to the U.S. European Union donates specialized computers to Liberia National Police, but hence effective data collection and boost information sharing. As EU delegation to Liberia head calls for close working relation between the media and the security sector. Away from home, at least 20 people have died from flash flooding in tornado damage that swept across multiple states in the midwestern and southern parts of the U.S. over the weekend. Torrential rains and floods have killed at least 33 people in Kinshasa, the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo, according to officials. We'll take a break to be back with more voices. Welcome back and thanks for being there. Supporters of Nima County District 5 Representative and Senatorial candidate Samuel Koga have reportedly attacked Madame Edith Gonglowe and her supporters. According to Madame Edith Gonglowe's supporters, they were physically attacked and assaulted by members of Koga's team while trying to engage residents or Bopley as part of ongoing campaign activities in the county on Sunday. They claimed that they were threatened by Samuel Koga supporters, noting that Madam Ida Ganglowe would not receive any vote in that part of the county during the pending April 22 by election.
Are declaring war on us. We are in problem. The people are declaring war on us and not easy. They say, oh, man shouldn't speak. So let it go like the CA. They are here making plan with us. They said that woman should not even step down to talk. They are here making plan. They send their boss and they went together. They are here. They're not easy in problem right now. They're not easy. So you see, the person the woman not speak. They're going live, but you are seeing the win play. They bought the Nante, gun for all the Tante, all kind of things for us here. They're costing the woman here. But they put when they group themselves.
Supporters of Nimba County Senatorial candidate Madam Edith Ganglowe, they're speaking during what the term as clutches during their campaign activities in Bopley, a part of the county. Majority Bloc Speaker Rachel Cohn has indicated the need for continuous advocacy for fire safety across the country. Speaking during programs marking a donation of fire equipment to the Liberia National Fire Service by the International Training Group of Companies, Cohn said the need of more support to firefighters is crucial.
Okay, thank you so much. We've been monitoring the fire disaster in our country, especially when it comes to curtailing it. It's been a difficult thing. The budget has not been able to absorb expenditure related to this particular disaster issue. So we are praised and we welcome all those international partners who intend to help us in this direction. I've been working along with them to make sure that we can have fire service up to the standard to be able to curtail most of the destruction that's taking place in the world. So by 2026, I can say in Nigeria to do a piece of budget. Let me know what it takes to train at least 200 men from now to June. Then we can be able to install it in our recast to let it happen for next year. Yeah, they've been doing a great job. I think it's been better than before. Sometimes it takes almost for the whole day to get a fire truck at a particular area. But these days you can see that it takes less than 1-2 hours to get them there. So these are the improvements in our fire service operation. And we're trying to make it even greater than that. Now, as far as recording, the station should be all around the country. I'll be able to curtail issues with immediate effect instead of taking so long after the whole have been fully destroyed before coming there. They are very crucial because most of the time these things happen to have to rush in and replace out of the material or cater to the poor in case of human needs. So that
For his part, the director of the Liberia National Fire Service, Usua Bova, expressed gratitude for the support, describing it as the best way in helping firefighters curtail fire incidents across the country.
I want to say thank you for what you said. Also, they should not be the end. We're discussing both. All right? And I want to appreciate you. You guys are out there everything of the country. I said to other people, if only 10 people get together and say, we come from, say, Babu, we'll get a fire station that will make sure get a trumpet. Right? And in the next 5 days, we'll be able to do more. All right? So I want to say thank you. I mean, you are one of those that are always thinking about Liberia. Every time we talk, we say, gee, what a need. We are trying to find some things, you know, and I want to appreciate you highly for what you've done for us. As you said, the speaker is here. What I said there, control the place, right? So, why fire truck? Why we can bust up? Who says?
Also speaking, head of the International Training Group of Companies, Patrick McDormand, committed to supporting the LMFS Academy with a smart bow and other training tools. He added that the donation is part of a larger investment in training programs designed to maintain high standards of safety and emergency management within the service.
Again, we have brought up with 65-inch smart board for the training academy to enhance the training capability. That way you can use it for any training needs. We also brought some coveralls, some protective gear for firemen to be able to go in and better save the lives of Liberians while you're protecting them from fire. So it's something that we have continuously been doing throughout whenever we visit Liberia. And we thank you all for giving us the opportunity to be able to assist and help you all. So on behalf of International Training Group of Companies, International Training Force, we want to say thank you for accepting our donation once more. And Mr. Speaker, thank you for your commitment. When we first met, you were committed to the safety of all Liberians, and we thank you when we called that you were here with us. You were there. You were the only leader, one of the only leaders that I saw during International the Fire Day last year. So we appreciate your commitment to Liberia, and we hope that we can continuously build this relationship as we collect more donations for our country.
The local faith-based non-for-profit organization Brain Light International has officially launched its public awareness and training campaign on the year's project aimed at tackling pressing issues such as drug abuse, teenage pregnancy, prostitution, mental health challenges, corruption, and promoting soul-winning fellowship in Liberia, especially among students. At the launch ceremony, Brain Light International Executive Director Kelvin Adonis Valo announced that the project is to set target approximately 50 schools across Monserrado County.
The Youth Empowerment Through Awareness and Sensitization Project, commonly known as the YES Project. This YES Project is spearheaded by Brain Light International, which I represent as one of our flagship programs. One of our main programs, one of the programs that God has commanded us to do. Goal of this project is to inspire, to educate, and to empower you, the next generation. All of you here is to educate you on the basic things that you're supposed to do, is to inform you about those challenges, the behavior that is going to make you to drop out of school if you are not careful, the behavior that is going to make you to end in the street like Zobo if you are not careful.
Also speaking, Apostle Dr. Daniel Wilson of Powerhouse Ministries International, who serve as speaker, urged young people to make constructive life choices and resist peer pressure that could lead to harmful habits.
You see how drugs can make you, it has some mental health issue. It make you so, and once you enter it, for you to come from there, it's hard. So that why we deal with you and not enter it because we want to be smart for you to not start. When we hear you as young people, make sure that you put your life in order. Guess what? You know why you were born? You know why your mom born you? Thank you. Not because your mom wanted a child, why you keep. Some of you, if you get your mom chance, you are going to abort you. Sorry to tell you the bad news. You see, in the Liberia, there is a space in the country that only you can fill. Nobody else can fill it. Your parents are depending on you to change your family's name. My late child, I beg you, don't allow any boy tell you, say, I love you. Then you say now you hear it. My problem with this drug issue is that the priorities of government is wrong.
Away from Liberia, at least 20 people have died from flash flooding and tornado damage that swept across multiple states in the Midwest and the southern parts of the U.S. over the weekend. Half of the reported deaths, which included children and elderly people, were in Tennessee and three in Missouri. Two people died in Kentucky, while Indiana, Mississippi, Georgia, and Arkansas have also reported deaths from the storm. The first weather has caused rivers to swell, and on Sunday, the National Weather Service warned that dozens of locations will reach major flood stage even as the rain low. The storm is expected to move towards the southern Atlantic, and torrential rains and floods have killed at least 33 people in Kinshasa, the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo, according to officials. The republic will not abandon you, President Felix promised victims on Monday, saying he had called a government crisis meeting. Desperate residents are trying to flee the flood waters by wading, swimming, and paddling to safety in homemade canoes. The city is home to 17 million people and sits on the Congo River, which is one of the biggest in the world and stretches across the country. Well, on that note, that's how we come to a near end of this edition. But before we leave you, a quick reminder of stories we followed in the headlines. Upper Nimba County electoral supervisor resigns 14 days ahead of the county tightly contested senatorial by-election. Daniel Sheehan says his decision is based on the safety and peace of the county. U.S. Ambassador to Liberia warns Liberians against illegal entry and visa fraud. Ambassador Mark Turner says U.S. government is taking aggressive steps to curtail illegal immigration to the U.S. You also heard in the news European Union donates specialized computers to Liberia National Police to enhance effective data collection and boost information sharing. As EU delegation to Liberia head calls for close working relation between the media and the security sector. Away from home, at least 20 people have died from flash flooding and tornado damage that swept across multiple states in the Midwestern and southern parts of the U.S. over the weekend. Torrential rains and floods have killed at least 33 people in Kinshasa, the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo, according to officials. And thanks to our reporters, correspondents, and all those who helped in making this edition of King's News Room Resources. Nathan Topa brought you the news bulletin. Sam Andrews sat at control and handled the technical aspect of this edition. On behalf of the team, I'm Sherman. There, I presented. Thanks for listening and watching.